Hey there, welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Golden Age at DC Comics, 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since, being a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate today with you, right here, right now. What goes great with a coffee table book and a coffee table full of friends? Well, pull on up a chair and grab a cup of whatever. You are welcome here. Hot cup of coffee. Indeed, we are using this 365 days book for its intended purpose. We are doing a page a day. We're going to open up this book to today's date. It is November the 15th. We're going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. Here we go. We're going to get to it. The Golden Age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955, the Silver Age between 1956 and 1970, the Bronze Age between 1970 and 1985, and the Copper Age starts in 1985. I get these definitions and standards from the glossary of the most recent edition of Overstreet's Comic Book Price Guide. This is a great little resource. You should check it out. I hope you are doing awesome. I hope you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Let's get to it. Let's open up this book. And it is November the 15th. This is story by Jerry Siegel and art by Joe Shuster. This is from Detective Comics number 32, October of 1939. We've got no dialogue. We've got just a couple of speed lines for motion to see this bed is being levitated mysteriously, and its occupant is looking down in wonder and amazement, and maybe perhaps is that fear? Is that fear? Do you interpret that those face features as that fearsome? Exactly, huh? Let's read the blurb. This little nightmare features Shorty, boon companion of tough guy Slam Bradley. Shorty's hotel room is acting up, and he can't stand it. Bah, what's the use? I got to sleep so as to forget how scared I am, then have a nightmare, unquote. This panel may be a tribute to a classic newspaper strip from a bygone day, Winsor McCay's Little Nemo in Slumberland. Yeah, Little Nemo in Slumberland. I'm going to be reading from, you guessed it, the wiki. Yes, that's my Red Letter Media reference. ATST. I love Rich Evans. He's awesome. He's so funny, and they're so astute. I love Jay. I love them all. Rich. Who's the big guy there? Mike's name will come to me later. I'm just kidding. But let me read from the wiki and about Little Nemo in Slumberland. I think I mentioned him once, but Little Nemo is a pretty influential on comics that came after it. It was one of the first daily strips in a newspaper. And remember, newspapers were where the big comics were. Comic books slowly gained their momentum and their power and their place at the table. But few people read a niche market like comic books. Everybody read newspapers. And the funny pages were just part of the newspaper, but an expected part of the newspaper nonetheless, in your total newspaper experience. Comic books were very narrow, niche-minded. It was going for a very specific thing. Young people and something new. Their pocket change, their disposable income. But, so Little Nemo is a fictional character created by cartoonist Winsor McCay. He originated in an early comic strip by McCay, Dreams of the Rabbit Fiend. before receiving his own spin-off title, Little Nemo in Slumberland. The full-page weekly strip depicted Nemo having fantastic dreams that were interrupted by his awakening in the final panel. The strip is considered McKay's masterpiece for its experiments with the form of the comics page, its use of color and perspective, its timing and pacing, the size and the shapes of its panels, and its architectural and other details. Little Nemo in Slumberland ran in the New York Herald from October 15th of 1905 until July 23rd of 1911. The strip was renamed in the Land of Wonderful Dreams when McKay brought it to the New York American, where it ran from September 3rd, 1911 to July of 1914. McKay returned to the Herald in 1924 and revived the strip under its original title from August 1924 until 1927, when McKay then again returned to Hearst. Sounds like when Jack Kirby was bouncing between DC and Marvel. So this basically ran, so it says the launch date and its end date was October 15th of 1905, and it ended January 9th of 1927. This would put it in the Overstreet Price Guide's ages. Now, we talk about the Golden Age. We talk about all the ages. It's just the name of the book here is the Golden Age of DC Comics. So we have a definition for that. The Golden Age runs between 1938 to 1945, and then there's an Atom Age from 1945 until 1955. But most of the time, people forget about the Atom Age, ATOM, and we just run with the Golden Age being from 1938 until 1955. And then something happened to make a sea change, make a line in the strata of the rock where you can tell where an age had changed in time. A ring on a tree, a panel on a turtle's shell, something like that. These things that mark the age of something, and the literal age, and also this labeling and definition of an epoch, an era, a run. One could, So Little Nemo in Slumberland is, just was one of the OGs, man. It was the original gangsta. It was one of the originals. And it's just really interesting stuff. It broke the fourth wall. It was this beautiful sense. It was color. Oh, this one was color here. I'm looking at it. You can't see it. I'm sorry. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, it ran color, and it's a really interesting style. I learned about hatching today because McKay experimented with the form of the page, pacing, shape, perspective, and hatching is a shadowing technique. So it's these vertical lines that you see under, and like say someone's like the rumple in someone's clothing, and how it respects light source. So the light source has a shadow, and so the hatching, or you might even know cross hatching. That's when you have hatching with, an opposite line to it, that makes angles. And so you can you have hatchings and then cross hatchings to denote like the depth of shadow in a two-dimensional image that's representing a three-dimensional image. And that's why I love this book, and I love learning more and more about art and art history and art styles, and about comic books. I never knew about Little Nemo in Slumberland until I started reading this book. I mean, and to go back and to look at this art and to see how impressive it is, and to see that we are the inheritors of Winsor McCay. The style and this sense of tone and the storytelling technique that was laid down over 100 years ago is still alive and well today, and we still use it. Sequential art. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We make regular content as well. You know, I make shorts sometimes too. I mean, I'm trying to get people to subscribe to my little growing channel. I love it. It's a challenge, and it's a noble goal too. And thank you for being part of this. Cheers. God bless you. Namaste. Good luck, and we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.